Let's sit down and talk about Epic Universe, the brand new theme park at Universal Orlando Resort right here in Orlando, Florida. I still can't believe it's finally here. It's genuinely awe-inspiring to see a park like this open in our time. Think about it. The last time we saw a major theme park debut, not just in Orlando, but anywhere in North America, was back in 1998 with Disney's Animal Kingdom. Before that, Islands of Adventure, opening in 1999. It's been 26 years since something of this scale has launched. From 1971 to 1999, in just under 30 years, we saw the openings of most of the parks that define Orlando today, like Magic Kingdom, Universal Studios, Epcot, and more. Yet in the same span of time since, nothing new of that caliber came along. Now, finally, Universal has broken that silence with Epic Universe. And it's not just another theme park, it's a technological and creative leap forward. In just the past decade, theme park technology has evolved more than it had in the entire century before. The opening of Rise of the Resistance back in 2019 felt like the beginning of a new era in immersive attractions. We've had phenomenal rides like Flight of Passage and Spider-Man, but Rise felt like the next level, a full-fledged experience. Now Universal has taken that concept and pushed it even further, designing an entire park around next-gen attractions. Everything at Epic Universe is brand new. There are no retouched legacy rides or outdated areas. The whole park has been built from scratch, using the latest technology and ideas. And walking into a fully modern theme park, something no one else has done at this scale in decades, it's an experience that's hard to describe. It's special, it's rare, and it might be a long time before we see anything like it again. Sure, there are whispers that Universal could build a fourth park after the success of this, or that Disney might finally add a fifth gate here in Orlando. We even heard rumors about Disneyland expanding, or SeaWorld developing an entirely new park. Who knows? And who knows how long that will take? 5 years, 10, maybe another 26. The point is, it's happening now, and that alone is extraordinary. So let's dive in and go deep. From the moment you pull into the parking lot to the very back of the park, let's fully explore everything with Epic Universe. As a lifelong Orlando native, it's amazing to see how this area has transformed. I grew up just minutes from here, and for most of my life, this space was pretty much empty aside from Lockheed Martin next door. But Universal has completely reinvented this part of town. Now it's a thriving entertainment hub with resorts, hotels, and theme park that could genuinely reshape the industry. It's also just beautiful. The updates to Kirkman Road, Universal Boulevard are such a nice touch, especially from a local's perspective like myself. The infrastructure around the park now matches its ambition. Entering the park, you'll pass under the Grand Marquee sign, reminiscent of the classic welcome signs from Universal's original North Campus. It's a nostalgic nod, and though I personally wish it had been a bit more innovative, it works. But let's talk about the parking lot. It's massive, but also somehow not massive enough. Walking through it feels endless, especially in the Florida sun. And during family previews when the park wasn't even at full capacity yet, the entire lot was already packed. That's a red flag for long-term operations. Universal has confirmed a parking garage is on the way, and honestly, they need to prioritize it ASAP. They're serious about this park's future. Expanding parking needs to be step one. That said, I do enjoy the walk-up experience. Once you leave your car, the music that plays as you transition from the lot to the grand entrance pathway is incredible. And the moment you catch your first glimpse of the Kronos Gate, magical. What really stands out to me is the absence of a City Walk style entrance. Don't get me wrong, I do like City Walk, but sometimes getting through it is just too much. It's the same issue I have with Magic Kingdom. I adore the park, but the transportation and parking logistics make spontaneous visits hard to justify. If it takes me 30 plus minutes to get from my car to my favorite attraction, I'm likely not going to go that often. That's why I visit parks like Epcot and Hollywood Studios way more than I visit parks like Magic Kingdom and Islands of Adventure, even though I do love those two parks to death. But now, Epic Universe, I love that I can park my car, walk right up, scan my ticket, and be inside the park. It's simple, efficient, and convenient. Once that garage gets built, it'll be even smoother. The entrance plaza itself is massive and stunning. Universal made a great decision placing the security checkpoint right before the ticket scan. That way you've got your bag open, your phone's already in hand, clear of security, you can scan your ticket, and you're in. No extra hassle. However, I do have a few criticisms, and most of them are tied to the parking and security experience. First, those TSA style metal detectors are so outdated. I'm surprised Universal didn't just opt for the more modern walkthrough scanners like the ones that are used by parks like Disney, SeaWorld, and now even Six Flags. I wish they had gone with the newer walkthrough systems to streamline entry even more, especially with the ticket scan so close by. That change would just make a massive difference. I don't know why Universal hasn't made the switch in their existing parks either. And now that Epic Universe is stuck with the old system, it makes me wonder if they'll ever upgrade. I hope they do, but we'll have to wait and see, and this does not look bright judging by this. But despite some nitpicks I'll get to later, I have to say, what an entrance. The Kronos is a stunning way to begin your journey into Epic Universe. As soon as you walk in and hear that rhythmic heartbeat pumping from within, it sets the stage for an epic adventure. It's such a smart detail, subtle but powerful. The structure structure itself is gorgeous at any time of day. During daylight, it gleams with motion and energy, and at night, it transforms into something even more magical. Everything is flowing and moving. The massive gyrosphere at the top is a standout feature. It's such a clever design, surprisingly simple and not even that massive when you compare it to something like the Universal Lighthouse at Island, the iconic arches at Studios, but it gets the job done perfectly. And then you get the grand reveal, Luna Overlook. The Luna statue and Grand Helios in the background and all of Celestial Park. It's truly breathtaking. One of the best, if not the best, park entrances I've ever seen. It reminds me of Islands of Adventure, where you walk in, you see all of the islands laid out before you, but this is that concept turned up to 11. On your right, you've got your photo store and the Christmas shop, which is a lovely touch. I love that the Christmas store is themed around Earl the Squirrel, a true Universal icon. Having a dedicated shop for him and Christmas right at the front of the park, that's a win. I also adore the roof designs here. Epic Universe really takes cues from some of the Asian parks with the covered walkways at the start. Even though you're not technically indoors when you walk in, the covered paths leading to Celestial Park give such a cozy, welcoming vibe. If you go to your left, you'll find Moonship Chocolates and Otherworld's Mercantile, the park's main gift shop, and it is gorgeous. The centerpiece alone, a massive globe surrounding by glowing constellations, is stunning. It's a charming shop that stocks just about everything, though I do wish some of the park's marquee items were sold here. Instead, a lot of the cooler, more specific merchandise, like the Dark Universe vinyl, is only available deep in the portals. It's a bit of a hassle, but still, Otherworld's Mercantile is a beautiful store and a great place to browse. But now let's truly dive into Celestial Park and make our way around portal by portal. When you walk into Celestial Park and head left, which yes, I believe is the correct way, I feel like this is going to be the new debate like the Epcot World Showcase, which way do you go? And the correct answer is you go to the left. Your first pass will be Atlantic, one of only 2 full-service restaurants in the park. I was surprised there wasn't more sit-down options, honestly. There's one obvious candidate that should have been, I'll get to that later, but Atlantic, incredible. I had the sea bass and the Northern Lights cocktail and the passion fruit caviar dessert. All of it is great. That sea bass might be some of the best fish I've ever had. The fish-themed decor around the restaurant is really fun too, especially the moving elements overhead and the glowing Atlantic marquee sign. My only critique, the interior leans a little too traditional, almost like a standard seafood restaurant with the carpeted floors and basic railings. However, it's intimate and relatively small, which means it'll likely get booked up quickly, but it also means a quieter, more refined dining experience. The best thing of all is that view. If you're lucky enough to sit near those massive windows, you'll have an unbeatable panorama of Celestial Park. It's one of the best dining views I've ever had. Overall, Atlantic is great. Excellent seafood, great vibe. It's definitely on the pricier side, but it's 100% worth a visit. If you keep walking, you'll reach the Super Nintendo World portal, arguably the most visually striking of all the portals, especially at night. It's huge, with those signature warp pipes that are just iconic. I love how they went with a unique design here. Rather than traditional pipe entrance, you go through a portal into the warp pipe. And the moving token feature, which switches between 8-bit Mario and modern Mario, is such a brilliant touch. It's nostalgic, it's modern, it's just beautifully done. Next is Pizza Moon, which really surprised me. You don't expect great pizza in a theme park, but Pizza Moon delivers. Think Blaze Pizza style. Tons of customization, solid ingredients, and genuinely delicious pies. The interior design is a bit bland, aside from the beautiful centerpiece in the back, but the food more than makes up for it. The exterior signage with its retro, futuristic flair is just awesome. Right next to that, though, is Oak and Star Tavern, and wow, this might be one of the best quick service restaurants in any theme park, period. The oak tree centerpiece is beautiful, and the barbecue here is top tier. The pulled pork is my go-to, and you can try all 4 house sauces, which are all fantastic. Besides, I got mac and cheese and baked beans, and they are amazing. And that banana pudding, possibly the best dessert in Celestial Park, but there's one more contender we'll bring up soon. Another standout is that mango bread. I could eat it for every meal. Oak and Star is the only place in the park that also serves breakfast, which is a major bonus. If you're doing one quick service meal at Epic Universe, make it here. 10 out of 10. I do adore this place. Right across from that, you will find our first ride, Constellation Carousel. I never thought I'd say this about a carousel, but this is a must ride, especially at night. The whole structure lights up and syncs with the music, which ranges from celestial orchestras to rave-style electronic tracks. And the ride system itself, completely reimagined. Instead of being mounted on poles from the top and bottom, each creature's attached only at the bottom and sits on a rotating platform. So the entire ride floor moves in different directions. Your creature spins, and every ride experience is slightly different. It's stunning, it's innovative, and genuinely fun. Universal really knocked it out of the park. Continuing on, though, you'll spot Astronomica, a splash pad that Universal counts as an attraction. Why, I have no idea, but it's beautiful. Great lighting, great soundtrack, and a fun little area for kids. It was also the last thing to open in the park, which for some reason I guess is cool, but I don't really know why it took so long for this to get done. Anyways, next up is Celestiki, the tiki bar of Epic Universe, and it's one of my favorite hidden gems. It pays a lot of homage to Volcano Bay with its Waturi people theming, and even features a drink called the Waturi Punch, which I do highly recommend. The bar is small, but really well themed, and I love that it connects the larger Universal parks through subtle channel not. There's also another little pop-up bar across the way that we'll talk about later. I'm a big fan of this idea in general. More bars like this, please. You'll also find Frosty Moon, the only spot in the entire park serving ice cream, which is wild. Tons of customization options and very high quality ice cream. There's also Comet Dogs, not really my thing since I'm not a big hot dog fan, but if you are, they've got a wide variety from traditional hot dogs to creative. But if you keep walking, you'll encounter the Dark Universe portal. And this portal might be my favorite. The lighting effects in night, incredible. The center orb crackling with purple energy, the rocky overgrowth, the towering spire, it all gives off this foreboding gothic energy that perfectly sets the tone for what's inside. Every time I see it, I'm in awe. Universal nailed it. Next we come to the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant, which ended up being my favorite restaurant of this entire park. Completely unexpected. In the Eternal Night Market, this place is absolutely stunning. Neon signs overhead, lanterns everywhere, and an overall vibe that feels like a futuristic twist on Animal Kingdom's Asia section. It's like if Yak and Yeti got a modernized upgrade. The menu is served family style, which I really like. I had the pork soup dumplings, snowflake pot stickers, dragon fried rice, and crispy orange chicken. Everything was phenomenal, especially the orange chicken. That was probably my favorite thing on here. But the highlight is the dessert, the banana Napoleon. It's a dessert made with wonton crackers, banana, vanilla ice cream, and a butterscotch-like syrup. Wow, hands down, probably my favorite dessert I've ever had. I'm a huge banana dessert guy, and this one takes the crown. Blue Dragon also has a lot more value than Atlantic. You can still spend a lot if you want to, but there are plenty of menu options that are within the $10 to $20 range, so you can easily have a great experience without breaking the bank. If I had to pick one restaurant to recommend, I would tell you to try both because they are incredible, but I would definitely recommend Blue Dragon. Keep walking, you'll come across the Grand Helios Hotel, which I've covered extensively in other reels, so if you want a deeper dive, just click the card up above to check those out. It's a fantastic hotel. I really enjoyed my time there. If you're looking to a place to take a break from the park, I highly recommend heading inside to Bar Helios, the hotel signature bar. It's relaxing, upscale, and the perfect reset before diving back into Celestial Park. Bar Helios alone makes it worth a stop. Truly a great hotel. Moving along, you'll pass by Meteor Astro Pub, another quick service option in the park. This one is very solid and probably the most traditional theme park restaurant you'll find in Epic Universe. Burgers, sandwiches, and other comfort staples dominate the menu. Quality is actually really impressive. It's definitely not your average theme park. If you're a picky eater craving something simple, classic burger, chicken sandwich, Astropub is a can't miss. I had the grilled cheese and tomato soup and the strawberry shortcake for dessert, and honestly, I'd get it again. Really tasty and a great portion size. Next door is the other bar I was talking about earlier, Bar Zenith, a more traditional style bar, another great option for a mid-park break. They have a drink there called the Meteor Strike that I absolutely recommend. Comes with a flaming sugar cube that they drop into the cocktail right in front of you. Great drink, amazing presentation. Probably my favorite cocktail in Celestial Park. Now we're at the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic portal, and I'll be honest, this is the only one that's a bit underwhelming. Visually, it's very classy and elegant with the wand top pillar that adds a nice magical touch, but compared to the other portals, it's definitely more reserved. It looks great, but doesn't do much beyond that. More on this area in a bit. Then comes the main event for a lot of people visiting Celestial Park, Stardust Racers. This ride is hands down one of the best coasters I've ever been on. The dueling aspect is absolutely phenomenal. While dueling and racing coasters aren't a new idea, just look at classic rides like the Racer at Kings Island. Universal has brought that concept to a whole new level. And yes, this is without a doubt a spiritual successor to Dueling Dragons. For those of us who love that ride and still miss it dearly, this is the tribute we've been waiting for, and it delivers in every way. The airtime is no joke, it's lethal, especially on the top pad in those hills before the second launch. That sequence is probably my favorite stretch of airtime on any coaster. The ride constantly throws you out of your seat in the best way possible. What really elevates it is the dueling interaction. The way each side plays off of each other is just chef's kiss. I love how the first launch is staggered. You get a nice initial burst, but right at the end, surprise acceleration that slingshots you forward is so unexpected and exhilarating. Then there's the Celestial Spin, one of the most jaw-dropping coaster elements out there. It's not just thrilling, it's stunning. The airtime and whip through the elements are great, but what really makes it special is the visual aspects of it. Watching the other train twirl above and dive below you is nothing else like it in the world. The first time I experienced that, I was just speechless. It was that good. I'll go ahead and say it. Stardust Racers is my favorite coaster in the state of Florida. It's easily one of my top launch coasters ever done, and the best mat coaster I've ever done, and that includes rides like Helix and Copperhead Strike. This one is next level, and honestly, one of the most fun and polished coaster experiences on the planet. Anyways, last but not least, we've reached the Isle of Berk portal, and this one is beautiful. The structures are rich with detail, and from a distance, the whole portal just pops. It might be the most naturally integrated out of all the portals. It doesn't feel like it's trying too hard. The colors, the textures, and scale just feel right. And that wraps up our thoughts on Celestial Park. It's a stunning land filled with incredible dining, clever design, and one of the best coasters ever built. Whether you're here for for the rides, the views, or just the vibes, it's phenomenal. Universal really did put the park back into theme park. But since we ended off at Isle of Berk, let's dive into that land first. And wow, this land is absolutely stunning. That reveal when you first walk in, easily one of the best in any theme park. You step through the portal beneath the crackling orange lighting, and before you're fully immersed, you're greeted by a welcoming stone with a heartfelt passage. I love that. It doesn't just throw you into the action, it builds anticipation, and then boom, welcome to Berk. I'll admit, I was initially a little skeptical when Universal announced a How to Train Your Dragon land. Not because I thought the idea was bad, it's on the contrary. I've always believed this franchise deserved a theme park presence. I remember being 7 or 8, walking out of the theater after the first movie and telling my parents I need to see that in a theme park. But my hesitation came from the timing. The original film released in 2010 and now it's 2025. That's 15 years. And while the franchise has had shows and shorts to stay somewhat relevant, it felt like the moment might have passed. That said, Universal proved me wrong. This land is breathtaking. All my doubts disappeared the second I stepped in. It still feels relevant, and more importantly, it feels alive. Universal knocked this out of the park. The lagoon centerpiece, the twin statues flanking the entrance. It's also thoughtfully executed. If you head left upon entering, you'll come across Viking training camp, one of the best family play areas at a theme park. Honestly, Berk might be one of the most kid-friendly lands out there, and the training camp makes that especially clear. It's great for kids, but adults will enjoy it too. I had a blast just walking through and taking in the views. It even gives you a beautiful vantage points of both Berk and Celestial Park. Keep walking and you'll find the Grog and Gruel Snack Shack, home of the famous mac and cheese cones. These are to die for, absolutely delicious. Just make sure you grab them quickly because that line can get pretty wild. Next up in Dragon Racers Rally, a ride I have very mixed feelings about. I've ridden similar attractions before and I usually enjoy them, but this version is tricky. They've tightened up the mechanism so it's nearly impossible to flip, which feels like a missed opportunity. I get that they're aiming to make a family-friendly ride, but when the cycle only spins the arm 5 times and you're not able to flip it once, it feels super underwhelming. Plus, the low capacity and short ride duration, about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, the long wait times are not justified. It does offer fantastic views of the park, and at night, it is incredible, but overall, it's just not that good. But the marquee attraction here is right next to it, and that's Hiccup's Wing Gliders, an Intamin family multi-launch coaster that has actually grown on me quite a bit. My first ride was in the front row, and I liked it, but didn't think it was anything special. But after more rides, especially 9 in the back row, I've come to really love it. The launches have a nice little punch, the twists and turns are super fun, diving over the lagoon is just awesome. The helix before the second launch had a surprising amount of force, and that launch comes with a beautiful show scene featuring the hatchlings, which is a really cool touch. Is it intense? No. There's no airtime or extreme forces, but it doesn't need them. The onboard audio and animatronics elevate the experience to the next level, and it's just pure fun. Someone called this ride Die at Hagrid's, and honestly, that's a great way to say it. And when you look at other family coasters in Orlando, like Slinky Dog Dash or Penguin Trek, they're either too short, too tame, or lacking in theme. Hiccup's Wing Glider strikes that perfect balance. It's well themed, it's long enough, it's smooth, and it's really enjoyable. On paper, it might be the most perfectly executed family coaster out there. Next, we have Meat Hall, the main sit-down restaurant in Berk that is also a quick service. And while the food is fine, nothing extraordinary. The setting is very cool, the interior features an enormous set piece, and there's a mountain on top of the building that looks great, but I did expect it to be a bit bigger. Based on the concept art in the films, it looks massive, and it's really not that massive when you're in there. It's a nice dining option, but if you're looking for better food, I would skip this one. It's just a run-of-the-mill basic theme park restaurant. Next, there's Fire Drill. This is unfortunately the only ride in Epic Universe I genuinely dislike. And it's not that it's bad, it just feels like such a missed opportunity. The visuals are fun, the 2-dimensional cutout sets a cartoony vibe, and you may or may not get soaked. I'd stayed mostly dry, thankfully. The ride layout is painfully simple. It's literally 4 turns and it's over in less than a minute. It looks great in the land, but it's just too small, too short, kind of hard to follow. I really wish Universal had gone with a relaxing boat ride around the entire lagoon and focus on something with a great soundtrack, maybe an indoor show scene where Fire Drill would be, and have that peaceful cruise vibe. That would have fit the area so much better than this. It's just the only ride that I really wish Universal didn't waste their time with. But what does redeem this part of the land though is the Untrainable Dragon stage show. This is one of the best live shows I've ever seen in a theme park. The stunt work is phenomenal. The performers absolutely kill it. The Viking who freezes mid-motion and falls forward like a statue, such a cool effect. The vocalists are great. They are absolutely incredible. When Toothless and Hiccup soar above the audience, goosebumps. The animatronic is stunning and moves with such realism. The first time I saw this show, I was genuinely emotional. Do not miss out on this, seriously. And right next to it is the Hiccup and Toothless meet and greet. I'm not a big meet and greet guy, but this is the best one I've ever experienced. The performers here are perfectly cast and they have completely embodied the character and they are so good. It really makes you feel like you're there. And then there's Toothless. I'll admit, when Universal first revealed this meet and greet idea, I thought it might be a little cheesy. easy, but it's not. When Hiccup gently guides you to place your hand on Toothless's nose, straight out of the movie, it gave me chills. The animatronic is so lifelike. Hiccup is done so well. I can't recommend it enough. This is the best meet and greet I've ever done in my entire life. Have to check it out. Lastly, there's Spitfire Grill, the land's quick service option, and surprisingly, one of my favorite dining spots in Epic Universe. They offer a variety of protein bowls like steak, chicken, with lots of veggies and flavorful sides. Portions are generous, prices are fair, and it's a great value overall. After my first visit to the park, I actually thought Spitfire Grill was my favorite restaurant until I tried the others. But still, it's a really, really good restaurant and great for a quick little bite. Isle of Berk is exceptional. It's beautiful, rich with detail, and full of heart. I could honestly spend an entire day just soaking it in. If I had one major critique, it'd be the sightlines. Out of all the lands in Epic Universe, Berk struggles the most with immersion in that sense. You can clearly see Helio, Stardust Racers, and a good chunk of Celestial Park from multiple points in the land. It doesn't ruin the experience, and I personally don't mind it too much, especially since Stardust theme blends nicely at night. It's just very noticeable. Every other land feels more enclosed and self-contained, whereas Berk is the only one where the illusion breaks. Still, there's a minor issue in the grand scheme. Berk is massive, it's beautiful, it's full of charm. Universal really brought the world of How to Train Your Dragon to life, and they really did that film justice. Next, let's make our way to the Ministry of Magic, and let me just say, this might be the coolest theme park land I've ever stepped into. I've been lucky enough to travel to Paris, France, and strolled streets in person. While I've always appreciated how Epcot tries to capture that Parisian charm, it never truly felt like I was in Paris. For the first time I walked through Wizarding Paris at Epic Universe, it felt like I was back in Europe. The level of immersion is astonishing. It's simply wow, completely breathtaking. As you enter, you'll see Café Lyre de la Sereine on your left, and if there's one place I recommend eating, it's this one. I'm obsessed with this cafe. The butterbeer crepe is absolutely perfection. They also have a baguette sandwich with turkey and apples that genuinely is one of the best sandwiches I've had at a theme park. It's great food, incredible ambience. It's a charming little cafe that truly makes you feel like you're in the part of Paris. When I visited Paris, I needed to eat at one of those sidewalk cafes, and Universal nailed that experience. Across from the cafe is the dark wizarding section of the land. Universal initially marketed this as a sort of eerie, ominous area, and I was expecting something more of Nocturne Alley, Diagon Alley, and not that at all. It has some moody architecture and a creepy looking building, but it's not at all that dark or sinister in tone. However, Le Goblet Noir, the restaurant located here, is excellent. I was thrilled to see Winter Schnitzel on the menu, one of my go-to dishes when I'm in Europe. And they also serve an amazing Black Forest cake. The restaurant itself is deceptively large with a series of rooms, each themed differently. It's very easy to get lost inside in the best way. Back outside, Wizarding Paris offers several interactive wand experiences. Some of the spell spots are genuinely impressive. In the Dark Wizarding area, there's an interactive set of talking portraits. They don't just deliver one-liners, they actually converse with you. One spell summons a Demigis animatronic that appears out of nowhere. You literally can't see it until you activate the spell. The effect is mind-blowing. A full-scale animatronic just appears before your eyes. I was completely in awe. And then there's my favorite bar in all of Epic Universe, Bar Moonshine. This is the American bar tucked inside Wizarding Paris, and it's fantastic. It has a classic cozy bar vibe, but the standout drink here is called the Low Blaster, and I'm a huge Moonshine fan, so naturally I had to try it. It's a moonshine, absinthe, and limoncello. It's delicious, but it's strong. You've been warned. It's hands down my favorite drink in the entire park, and the bar is an absolute must visit. The street entertainment adds even more charm. The performers are incredible. The trumpet player who leads it all is absolutely phenomenal. And there's a little magical creature puppet I can't quite name, but I absolutely loved it. Details like this bring the whole land to life and genuinely make you feel like you're roaming the streets of magical Paris. But now let's talk about the land's main show, Les Cirques Arcanous. This is a continuous performance show, which means it operates with a posted wait time rather than set show times. Format I really do like. Even the queue is an experience. Feel like you're entering an old world traveling circus, complete with antique props and gorgeous theming. It even gave me slight horror vibes in the best way. A mysterious vintage aesthetic that's so captivating you could spend time just soaking it in. The show itself has two parts. The pre-show sets the stage with the story of Les Cirques Arcanous. It introduces you to some of the magical creatures and dives into the backstory of Ringmaster Skender. The effects here are next level. What looks like a normal set of walls and props are revealed to be projection surfaces, screens, and practical effects. At one point, Newt's Commander's suitcase materializes out of a screen, and later a live performer as a Demigis emerges from it. It's not animatronic, it's real, and it moves around from the audience. This whole sequence requires such perfect synchronization, and the illusion is so smooth. I don't know how they pulled it off. I was in awe just watching this show for the first time. When you head into the main stage, every Fantastic Beast appearance is thrilling. One of the best moments is when the entire stage rises up. It's a jaw-dropping effect. The show builds to a beautiful conclusion with the dragon flying across the stage, followed by a cascading banner that brings everything to a close in spectacular fashion. The show is absolutely worth seeing. Honestly, I think it's better than some of the rides in the park, so don't skip it. And finally, the main reason most guests will visit the Ministry of Magic, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. I won't go into full detail here since I already released a dedicated review. You can check it out here in this card, but just know this ride is my favorite attraction, not only in Epic Universe, but in in the entire world. Visiting Paris is top tier. It's without a doubt one of the most immersive theme park lands ever built. From its dining to its street atmosphere to its show and spell experiences, it's magical from top to bottom, and this Ministry of Magic queue alone might be the most immersive experience I've ever had in a theme park. Universal knocked it out of the park with this one. Absolutely phenomenal. Next up, Dark Universe. This land is phenomenal. Honestly, one of the best out there. From the moment you enter the portal, the experience is just so well done. I love how you're immediately immersed with that swirling path through the graveyard, then boom, the big reveal of Darkmoor, complete with the eerie village sign. It looks exactly like the concept art, absolutely spot on. As you walk into Darkmoor Village, it's just insanely cool. The nods to the classic Universal monsters are everywhere, like seeing the Lion's Den from the Invisible Man where you can meet him. And let me just say, Dark Universe has hands down the best character interactions in the entire park. They're hilarious, creepy, and unforgettable. The Bride and Frankenstein combo is gold. Frankenstein is perfectly awkward and lovable, while the Bride plays the charismatic, slightly terrifying spokesperson who's also very awkward. The Invisible Man, he's just there to roast you. No holds barred. It's amazing. But the real legend, Igor. Freaking Igor. He is the character of the year. He is Epic Universe. He brings so much personality and energy. It's like the land lives and breathes through him. Absolutely hysterical. On the left when you walk in, you'll find Dr. Pretorius' Scientific Oddities, a gift shop packed with unique merch. There's also the monster makeup experience. Basically a Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique, but for all ages. You can transform into a monster. It's not something I would personally pay for, but the idea is brilliant. It adds a lot of charm to the land. Full props for Universal for including it. And then there's Das Steakhouse, the main quick service restaurant here. And honestly, big missed opportunity to not have it as a full-scale restaurant. And what's really even disappointing with this is the food just doesn't deliver. It's the weakest dining experience in Epic Universe for me. Basic and underwhelming. I didn't love anything I ate, and I've heard from others they didn't feel that great afterwards after eating some of the food here too. There are already memes floating around about it. That said, the theming inside is incredible. The corpses, the red lighting, the creepy artwork, it has such a vibe. Visually, it's one of the coolest spaces. It just really misses the mark on the food. It feels like they pulled a Best of Halloween Horror Nights menu instead of crafting something unique. And for a Universal Monsters restaurant, they really needed to go all out. And I think for set-wise, they did. Food-wise, they did not. So the main attraction here in Darkmoor is going to be Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, which I also have done a full deep dive review on, so you can click that link right here to get more details on it. To sum it up, I love this ride. It's a masterpiece. The other ride, Curse of the Werewolf, is seriously underrated. I call it the hidden gem of Epic Universe. It's short, it's sweet, and it packs a punch. Especially if you're in that front car with that off-axis spin. This thing just spins like crazy. Starts off tame with a cool swing launch, and then it hits you with some low twisted airtime hills in that second half and a surprisingly powerful turnaround. It may be a family coaster, but it can be legit thrilling. My only real complaint is I wish it was longer. Just one more helix would have taken it to the next level. And also, they should have had animatronics on this ride. Going through this thing launch and seeing it just as a static figure just feels like a letdown. And the Mystic character at the end just standing there. These elements could have really benefited for some movement or some life. So for what it is, it's fun, surprisingly intense, and it's a must-do for me every visit. There's also the Lacey's Tavern, a solid quick stop spot. Try the cinnamon bites, there to die for. Great place if you want to just snack on the go. And then there's the Burning Blade Tavern. This place is awesome. The giant windmill lighting on fire, especially at night. It's such a cool effect. It's practical, simple, but it's so insanely awesome. The drinks are great, the theming is top notch, and the bar's overall vibe is killer. The only problem is it's tiny. Universal hyped up this bar. A Universal Monsters themed tavern. Sounds like a dream for adult fans. And then they built the smallest building possible. The seating is super limited. It gets crammed real fast. Just don't understand the size choice. Everything inside though is great, and the bounty hunters are amazing. And that goes on with my biggest complaint about Dark Universe. It's too small. As a huge horror and Universal Monsters fan, I love the land. It's moody, immersive, and full of characters, but it's noticeably smaller than the other lands. Half the footprint is taken up by Curse of the Werewolf, which again is a short ride. While what's here is amazing, it feels like it just needs more. Thankfully, rumors suggest this will be the first land to get expanded at Epic Universe. That makes perfect sense. Universal owns the Monsters IP, so they don't need to license anything. They have full creative freedom to keep building it out, and I really hope they do, because even as it stands out, Dark Universe is something special. Between Monsters Unchained, the immersive village, and the electric character interactions, some of the most unique themed lands I've ever visited. Just deserves a little more space to breathe. Now let's dive into our final portal, and personally, my favorite one. This game is a huge surprise to me, especially because I have already experienced some of the other versions of this land, but this one, it's perfect. And I'm talking about Super Nintendo World. From the moment you step into the portal, you're transported. Take that escalator up through a warp pipe, and before you know it, you're walking through Peach's castle. As soon as you exit, you're hit with the full revealed Nintendo World, and it is breathtaking. I genuinely believe this is the most immersive land ever created. You feel like you've been dropped straight into the world of Mario. And here's the kicker. There's so much to do. No exaggeration, you could easily spend the most time here without getting bored. From attractions and interactive games to characters, food, shopping, Nintendo World is the most well-rounded land in the entire park. Berk is a close second, but Nintendo edges it out in every way. One of the best moments for me was seeing the moving painting of Peach's castle, a direct nod to Mario 64, a game I grew up on. The nostalgia hit hard. From that point on, I was hooked. Once you're inside, make sure you secure a power-up band. It's a must. It unlocks so many fun interactions throughout the land. Walking in and punching a lucky block is the best feeling ever. And I've been to the Universal Hollywood version. While I love the interactivity and thought Bowser's Challenge was fun, it just didn't quite land there for me. But this version, this took everything to the next level. I'm obsessed with it. The interactivity, the attractions, everything. There are so many mini games across the land that you can play with your power band. The Goomba rolling game is very simple, but it's a ton of fun. The slot machine game, it's another highlight. Not going to lie, I'm pretty good at this one, so I love showing off when I hit 4 in a row with these. The bomb game in the cave, which is genius. You walk into the space, you get shrunk because of a bomb exploding, and then you're surrounded by everything that's just absolutely massive and oversized. Then you gotta search for the shattered pieces to unlock the key. It's so immersive and clever. Another favorite's the Piranha Plant game, where you and your team have to hit all the alarm clocks before the Piranha Plant wakes up. Gets your heart pumping, and you absolutely need a group to succeed. You also have the POW block challenge with the spinning Koopa shell. Timing is everything with that one. It's probably one of the hardest challenges, but it's so satisfying when you finally get it right. What I love most is once you collect all the keys and you unlock the final interactive experience, and that's Bowser Jr. Shadow Showdown. It's a blast. You use your shadow to punch bombs, dodge fireballs, and go head to head with Bowser Jr. The setup is massive and the interaction is so polished. It feels like a true hidden gem. And then there's the food. Some of the best in the entire park. The main dining location, Toadstool Cafe, is awesome. Every dish is themed and beautifully presented inside. I love the screen showing the toads working away in the kitchen, making your food. It's just fun and delicious. I really enjoyed eating there. It's a true highlight of the land. You also find Yoshi's Snack Island, which has some sweet treats like the Yoshi themed dessert. It's a great little shop. The gift shops as well, 1UP Factory and Mario Motors, are also wonderfully themed and offer some amazing merch to take home. But let's talk about the main attraction, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. I've already talked about this ride a lot, so I won't go on too long, but let me say this is by far the best version of this ride. The queue alone is one of the best I've ever seen. Walking through Bowser's castle, seeing his massive statue and the detailed theming throughout, it's mind-blowing. If Ministry of Magic ride didn't exist, this would easily be the best queue in the park. Now, the pre-show is a bit of a letdown. It doesn't really do much. Once you put on that AR visor and get on the ride, it's game on. The sets are stunning, absolutely incredible, but here's the tricky part. If you want to score well in the game, you have to focus hard on the AR interface, which means you might miss out on appreciating the practical sets around. It's a tough balance. Do you go for a high score, or do you take in the visuals? That said, areas like the Rainbow Road sequence is jaw-dropping, one of the coolest transitions on any ride. The whole ride is long, fast-paced, and packed with details. If you grew up playing Mario Kart, this is a dream come true. It's a must-do. Next up is Yoshi's Adventure. I adore this ride. It's an omni-mover, which is perfect for families, and it's a great contrast to the high-energy Mario Kart ride. It's not very long, but it's packed with charm. There's an Easter egg built into the ride, and it's fun spotting little nods to Mario Galaxy and other games. The indoor baby world scene is adorable, and the song that plays throughout is catchy and cute. The queue is surprisingly well done too, with appearances from Toad and Toadette in the colorful Yoshi animated world. It's awesome. And just when you think it can't get any better, Donkey Kong Country is right there, connected to Nintendo World. It's essentially a land within a land. You got Funkies flying by the Donkey Kong gift shop, and yes, you can also meet Donkey Kong himself, which is awesome. You'll find more interactive elements like the Bongos game, where if you match the rhythms to trigger effects like the rhino bursting out of the barrel. It's hilarious and fun. You also got the Bubbly Barrel, where you can get this incredible pineapple Dole Whip style dessert. It's amazing. Seriously, don't skip it. But of course, the star of Donkey Kong Country is Minecart Madness. This ride is wild. It's a groundbreaking coaster with the fake track system that makes it look like you're jumping across gaps. It uses the real track hidden beneath the false one. It's pulled off so well that it genuinely feels like you're defying gravity. There's a traditional chain lift that turns to a surprise launch out of a barrel. It's so dynamic and innovative. My only complaint, it's rough. Like really janky in some spots. I get that you're in a minecart, so the roughness fits the theme, but there are moments where it's just a bit much. Still, that doesn't take away from how fun it is. It's one of the most unique coaster experiences I've ever had. In the end, Super Nintendo World is just legendary. There's so much to see, so much to do, and so many layers to discover. Whether you're a lifelong fan of the games or brand new to the franchise, the land is something for everyone. It's creative, it's interactive, and it's fun from start to finish. I just adore this place. So that's my full look at everything Epic Universe has to offer. Overall, I think the park is fantastic. If I were to rank the portals, my top would be Nintendo World, right behind with Wizarding Paris, and then Berk, and then Dark Universe. Not that to say Berk or Dark Universe are bad by any means. Each lane is incredible in its own right, but when you consider everything, attractions, shows, food, meet and greets, interactive, gift shop, bars, Nintendo World just edges out the rest. Dark Universe in particular feels like it needs a lot more in that department to really shine. With that said, it's so hard to rank these lands because every single one of them is amazing. Epic Universe as a whole, it's nothing short of perfection. Universal absolutely knocked it out of the park. I truly believe there's nothing better. After thinking it through and weighing all the options, this isn't just my favorite park in Florida or America, it's my favorite theme park in the world right now. The vibes here are unmatched, the design is next level, the attractions feature cutting edge technology that elevates the experience in ways I've never seen before. I love this place with my whole heart. So if you haven't already booked your trip to Epic Universe, make sure you do it now, especially at this moment while crowds are still low. Universal's carefully managing this smooth opening rollout. It's a smart move on their part that makes your visit even better. Seriously, make your way over to Epic Universe. It's one of the best theme park experiences out there. You definitely don't want to miss out on it. To get more of my thoughts on Epic Universe, if you've already made it this far into the video, then check out my video ranking every single ride in the park. Check out my reviews looking into some of the more specific areas of the park, everything else here with Epic Universe. As always, this is Hunter from Theme Park Hunting, and I will see you all later.